Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about music therapy, what it is, what it does, as well as what others feel about it and what others have said about it in the past. And before I begin, I'm just going to apologize because my residence hall, its air conditioner likes to turn on and off frequently, so you might hear a little banging every now and then. So let's get rolling. Alright, so the exact definition of music therapy that I came up with is the nonverbal approach to a client or multiple clients with instruments, interventions, and music to establish and or accomplish a preset goal. And it should be note that it must be achieved by a certified professional, a music therapist, board certified, who has gone through the necessary and proper amount of training. And I never put this in my slide, but I just felt this is worthy of mentioning that the 6 steps that of the music therapy treatment process that are also very, very important in this. First, client has to be referred and accepted. And secondly, the music therapist must make an assessment just to see the client likes, doesn't like, and maybe can tell some strengths and weaknesses, maybe not right away, maybe not. Next, we have the treatment planning. You gotta prepare, you can't just go into it, but sometimes you have to, as I've seen in clinicals a number of times. Fourth, would be the implementation. You should go about completing the session. 5, documenting what happened in the session. If there's anything that anybody should know of, well, you can't share with everybody, so never mind that. And then the conclusion of services, or the termination of services. So those are our 6 steps of the treatment process. This is the biomedical definition of music therapy, and that would be the enhancement of human capabilities through the planned use of musical influences on brain functioning. And this is something that Diane Knight gave us in orientation to music therapy, and something that I've held on to. And then this next slide will kind of break down this definition, and that's kind of how I came up with my definition in a way. So breaking down this biomedical definition. So we have the enhancement, which would be the needed changes in a client's functioning as determined by preset goals from the music therapist that result from the assessment and the evaluation. Next, we have the planned, and that would be when professional music therapists target and key in specific changes that are based on knowledge of the brain's functioning. And finally, there are the musical influences, which are the special effects of music that professional MTs, therapists, know and use to change brain functioning. So how does this music therapy stuff really work in relation to, well, in a multisensory way, the music interventions that are designed by the therapist engage multiple senses of the clients, which appeal to the client's sensory strengths and needs, and they truly improve. Socialization, It can work turn-taking, practice with manners, following directions, interaction with peers. These all can be addressed during sessions. They may not all be established in the first few weeks, but over time, the clients will continue to improve. I can still, I think I said I was going to mention it later in the presentation, but I feel it's necessary to talk about now. There was a client I saw, I observed in my fall clinicals last year, who has been taking music therapy for almost 5 or 6 years, and the music therapist said when he first started, he just started yelling. He couldn't communicate, but over time, he keeps improving. He gets getting better. He knows when to turn take, knows when something is coming up next. And it's just truly incredible, and it's very hard to believe, but it's truly amazing. And finally, communication skills. Music therapists can aid speech through music, as well as encourage and aid in non-communicational ways. Some other things. Because music can evoke positive emotions as well as stimulate reward centers in the brain, music therapy is often able to alleviate symptoms of mental health concerns such as depression, which we see a lot of nowadays, anxiety. There's a lot of that going on in college. Schizophrenia, substance dependency, autism. We saw a lot of that in clinicals last year. Dementia. That's the area of clients I want to be working with, so that's going to be huge, and many more. The list goes on, but I still can't believe it. I've been studying it for 2.5 years. So one of the authors of the text, Kenneth E. Bruscia, sorry if I'm saying his name incorrectly, but this is kind of how he looked at music therapy. I really, really like his stuff, so I'm really excited about this text. So in the second chapter of defining music therapy, he admitted that music therapy is very difficult to define, and I was going to count in the book how many times he said that music therapy is hard to define, or how many times others don't get music therapy. It was just kind of funny. He stated, as a body of knowledge and practice, it is a transdisciplinary hybrid of two main fields, music and therapy. And these next 4 quotes I just found to be incredible, and I just feel like there's something that I could put on a poster and have up in a studio someday. As a fusion of music and therapy, it is an art, science, and interpersonal process. As treatment modality, it is diverse in application, goal, method, and theoretical orientation. As a worldwide tradition, it is influenced by many differences in culture, which we looked at a lot in the class last year. I can't think of the name right now, but as a young field, it is still in the process of becoming. It is growing. It is a growing process. Daobe Taylor was another author that we looked at for this week, and this is what he had to say, and I found this also to be very interesting. Taylor mentioned an editor who wrote a foreword in a 1994 issue of Music Therapy, who argued that the therapy in this music therapy is the music, sometimes enhanced by words, which conveys the development of a client's therapy. And this is the example I mentioned before about the client who I saw with autism, who has just grown so much and has developed through music therapy. He has learned how to match things, how to speak, how to live in a routine, how to follow directions, how to listen. It's just incredible. Why do I really have a hard time explaining music therapy to others? Others sometimes just don't take it seriously, and it hurts. I have one of my best friends growing up who was studying, I think, environmental sciences. He kind of laughs at me sometimes when I say music therapy, and he says, at least I have a real job, and now I'm able to shoot all these facts to him of how music therapy works and how it heals others, and he kind of just shuts up. Similarly, others think music therapy just isn't as serious. They think other things are more important in treatment. And it drives me nuts. I attempt to provide examples from clinical/class, but some refuse to listen. I say, hey, I shadowed this person, and they played a song, and it took this guy back to his childhood. And someone said, well, isn't that just playing music, like at a rock concert or something? I'm like, no. I mean, maybe in a way, but it's not really even close. And this is another point that has come up, or used to come up a lot. People don't think a music therapist can make enough money to support a family. And I've had numerous people that have said that to me, and said, are you going to be able to support your wife and your family growing up? And I think I brought that point up to Diane freshman year, and this is a true quote, word for word, from Diane that she said 2 years ago. And she kind of said it like, I'm serious, but I'm not serious. And she said, as long as people keep dying, we won't be out of a job. And I just kind of really took that quote to heart, and it's really stuck with me. How can we make others understand MT? Meet them at their level. That is what we're trying to do. We just have to continue to provide evidence, because music therapy is an evidence-based practice, either from our own experiences, textbooks, and maybe some YouTube clips, because YouTube is the thing. But while doing so, it's important to not get so worked up that you accidentally give away credentials in regards to the clients, because I could see that happening to me really easily. Like I might get so frustrated and just say, yeah, well, this guy named Jack in a clinical, and you just gotta be careful. So, I mean, if we work together, we can really make music therapy the thing. I don't know how else to put it. So I just have a couple little pictures just to kind of conclude. And this is from Victor Hugo. He wrote a book years and years ago that ended up becoming my personal favorite, the best musical of all time, Les Miserables. And he said music expresses that which cannot be put into words. That's another poster I should have up. And this other one is from Macklemore. And this is something that I found on Facebook, I think, last summer. And he said that music is therapy. Music moves people. It connects people in ways that no other medium can. It pulls heartstrings, and it acts as medicine. And Macklemore is not wrong in the slightest. So I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a good day, night. And here are my references that I used in this presentation. So thank you.